Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to create a piece of art that represents what the new year means to me. This is my contribution to the New Year International Craft Collaboration organised by Tracey from MiniScenesGB. I'm going to be using some beautiful new mica powders from Solid Solutions, and for my Aussie subscribers, I'll tell you how you can enter to win one of these fantastic box sets of 24 pearlescent mica powders for yourself. I ordered this box of pigments some time ago and have just been waiting for the perfect opportunity to open them. So this is me seeing them for the first time. So it's a 24 colour box of mica powders, and they are each 10 grams, and they are titanium enhanced mica powders, which means that during the manufacturing process they add in titanium that coats the micas, and this gives you that amazing pearlescent sheen, and it also gives them incredible opacity, so you'll get beautiful rich colours. I realised quickly that they all have the little safety lids on them, so I took all of those off, and now I'm going to go through and pick out some really pretty bright colours for the project that I've got in mind. And you'll just notice I'm avoiding the blues and the greens and the black and the white because I have plans for those. There's so many things you can use these beautiful powders for, including colouring soap and candles, bath bombs, cosmetics, nail polishes, polymer clay and other craft projects. But today they are becoming like a paint. I'm going to mix them with some isopropyl alcohol and get a liquid form that I can then paint on to this silicone mould. So I've got this plate mould, and I've printed out an image from Creative Fabrica of a tree of life, and I'll tell you a bit more about that shortly. But the idea is I'm going to use all of these beautiful colours to decorate this tree of life, and I'm going to start off with the two brown colours. So we've got an espresso brown and a mocha brown, and I'm going to use a fine paintbrush to try and outline and then colour in the tree trunk and the branches and some of the twigs. Now, the difficult part of this is that a couple of weeks ago I had surgery on my right hand, and it was for osteoarthritis, a stage 4 condition where I had bone on bone basically, and I had a lot of pain. I had my left hand done in January last year, and then I had planned to have this one done just prior to the school holidays this year, which worked out well with a recovery period. Everything went great. But the original cast and then the splint and bandaging means that I pretty much have very limited use of my right hand. I can't move my thumb really at all, and I can only use the fingers just very sort of tentatively. So this is really an awkward way of painting, but I'm dipping my brush into the little pot there, and I'm getting on that mica powder isopropyl alcohol mix. And if you're doing this, you just do it as normal. But for me, I'm just trying to switch between my left hand and my right hand, and I'm explaining this to you because this is not going to be at the normal level or standard that I would try and show you, it's going to be more like a child's effort, I think, because I just don't have that control, and I'm really struggling as I'm doing it. When I use my right hand, it's very tiring, and my left hand just isn't smart enough to know what I'm doing. Anyway, look, it is what it is. And so once I've laid down that lighter colour, I'm going to go in with the darker mocha brown, and I'm going to just go over most of where I've already gone, but just to give it a little bit more depth and to give it some more sort of like a bark appearance. When Tracey from MiniScenesGB first announced this collaboration and mentioned that the theme was going to be New Year, I immediately thought of the Tree of Life symbol. I know that that symbol has a lot of meaning for people that could be associated with religion or spirituality, but for me it is a much more simple symbol. It shows for me the thinking about growth, connection and resilience. The roots, the trunk, the branches reflect how we develop and grow, how we're connected to others, and how we adapt through life's changes. And I guess it's just a reminder of our place in the natural world and the cycles that shape all living things. So there's 5 different, I guess, areas that I find this symbol has meaning for me in, and the first is growth, as I mentioned. So trees begin as a seed, they develop over time, just the same as people, and that represents to me personal development, learning and evolving, and becoming stronger through experience. Like many of you, 2025 was quite a challenging year for me, and so I'm really hoping that 2026 can help me focus on that growth and, improving my way of thinking about things. So I'm starting to add the leaves here, and the first colour I'm using is just one that makes me smile every time I see it, and this is the saffron yellow, and it is so gorgeous. I did very quickly realise that there was no way I was able to mimic the shape of a leaf with the limited mobility I've got with my hands. So they are just going to be, what would you call it? Like a hint of a leaf. So they still look pretty and nice and bright. The next colour I'm going to use is this gorgeous papaya, which is almost a bright, rich orange. Just loving that one. Another wonderful meaning I find in the Tree of Life symbol is connection, and this is something I'd really like to work on in 2026 personally. And so a tree's roots and trunk and branches show to me how everything in life is interconnected. So the roots of a tree represent where we come from, so our history, influences, foundations. The trunk symbolises our core identity, those strong beliefs we have that make us who we are. And the branches can reflect the many different directions our life can take. And so this sense of connection that I get from a Tree of Life is a reminder that we're part of a larger ecosystem. So families, communities, and the natural world. The next colour that I'm using is this absolutely stunning purple iris, and look, now I'm looking at the purple iris and the saffron yellow, I'm thinking I should be drawing some irises. when I get my hand back. So adding those in, and it's just taking on this very vibrant, beautiful appearance. So really happy with it so far. The next colour that I'm going to use, just even the name makes me feel happy, is Cherry Blossom Pink. And it is just, look at this, it is the most beautiful pink colour. So much intensity and so much sort of that sparkling pearlescent shimmer to it. The Tree of Life symbol also means to me resilience. So trees endure storms, seasons and change, and some trees, particularly in Tasmania, we have some of the tallest and some of the oldest trees in the world, and they are just there. They are showing strength. They are able to adapt to the environment, and some are still able to keep growing even after challenges. And that is just something that I aspire to myself, to keep on despite challenges, just to endure and show that resilience. The next colour I'm using is Cherry Red, and this is a red. It is stunning, like almost a fire engine red, so I'm very happy with that. Another symbol that I find in the Tree of Life is to do with the cycles of life. So trees obviously follow natural cycles. They bud, they bloom, they shed, they rest, and rinse and repeat. And I guess for me, it mirrors the rhythm in our lives. So we always have new beginnings, times of abundance where everything's just amazing, moments of letting go, and then periods of rest and renewal. And that's where I hope I find myself at the moment, in a period of rest and renewal. And it's something that I really do want to work on in 2026. And the last little area that always makes me sort of think of the Tree of Life as an example of unity with nature. So just a celebration of the natural world and the beauty of biodiversity, how we're all connected to this planet, to our communities, how we need to respect life and nature. And yeah, so some of the reasons that I chose the design of the Tree of Life to reflect how I feel about the new year. And I guess too, I'd like to ask you, how are you going? How are you doing? I hope you're doing okay, and I hope that 2026 can be a great year for you as well. All right, so now I've finished all of the painting part, and it's now time to use our beautiful crystal clear resin from Solid Solutions. This is a casting resin, a 1-to-1, and I did need to get a little bit of help with the stirring and everything. And now it's time to go through and choose some beautiful blues and greens, because I want to put in a really blended but shaded background. And I'm going to start with some blues symbolizing the sky, and then about halfway down I'm going to start using greens, which will symbolize that beautiful grass and that nature. So I'm just going to decant some of the resin into the little containers. And look, I've been trying very hard to mix my mica powders with alcohol first, and to get the particles dispersed evenly, but you know, sometimes that doesn't work because after you've mixed it, you realise you need to add in another pigment or change it. It's another reason I love these pigment powders from Solid Solutions, is that you can switch the colours up quite easily by adding other colours in, by diluting the colours, and you can get a really incredible array of colours out of just the 24. Now, I did mention a competition, and Solid Solutions are such a wonderful Australian company, and they have kindly given you a discount code for any purchases from their site that might not be on a current sale or something like that. And if you use my code BlossyB, and I am an affiliate with them, so if you use that, you not only get a discount, but I also get a little bit of money which I can then use towards purchasing more products to show you and share with you. And they have also kindly agreed to send anywhere in Australia a box set of these beautiful pigment powders, the Micas, and because of the fact they don't currently ship outside of Australia, it is going to be limited, I'm sorry, to Australian residents. Or having said that, to people who are able to supply an Australian address for it to be delivered to. So if you're someone in another country around the world and you've got a very dear friend in Australia that you would like to be the recipient of this if you won, I'm okay with that. I think that would be really lovely as well. So the entry is going to be in one of my next couple of videos. It'll be drawn on the 30th of January, and basically you will need to be subscribed to my channel publicly so that I can see that you are indeed subscribed, and you are going to have a word that you are going to need to pop into the comment box, which I'll give you in that video, along with the postcode of where you are going to have these sent. So, for example, if you were in Melbourne, in Victoria, you'd put the code word and then 3000. So I'll give you more details coming up soon, but for this video, I just wanted to focus on our beautiful Tree of Life and participating in this amazing international crafting collaboration. Adding the 6 different colours to this plate was just mesmerising. So I'm using the Resiners 2-in-1 curing machine, and I've also got my Resiners air purifier working. It's currently not very happy with me because I cleaned the space with alcohol just before I started pouring, and I've just gone in with each of my colours and done a little sort of a wiggly line, and then the next colour, and so on, and breaking it about halfway between the blue and the green. And then when I've got that first layer down, I just go over and drizzle the remaining resin into a similar position. Whatever you lay down first in resin onto the silicone will tend to be what you see after it's cured. You can do fancy things to the back, but they mostly won't show through. So I'm just trying to keep the lines fairly even to what I first did, and make sure that I get enough resin in there to reach the top of the mould. Now, this collaboration, I must tell you, I cannot believe how much amazing free content my fellow crafters around the world produce every week. And then every now and then we have a crafting collaboration, and then you get just this massive amount of knowledge and inspiration and just sheer talent and excitement all packaged up for you in the most bingeable playlist. And Tracey from MiniScenesGB and the international crafting collaboration community, and artists from all around the world with all different mediums that they work with, are able to enter. And so I'm going to link the playlist in the description box below, and I strongly recommend that for you to work through. Just watch every one over a period of time. You will not believe the depth and breadth of knowledge and skills that you'll see. I love these collaboration playlists, and it is so great for me, particularly at the moment. I really haven't been able to do any crafting, and I've missed it so much. And this collaboration gave me the push I needed to actually get a project out there. So I'm just turning on my machine. Eventually, not a lot of strength in my hand, as you can see. And then I'm setting it to flash, and it comes up automatically for the 2 hours, and then you just let it go. And it is all self-contained in its own little workspace. So about a couple of hours later, I'm available to demold it. So let's have a look and see what we've got. By the way, I'm also an affiliate with Resiners, and I will leave all the links to these amazing pieces of equipment in the description box below, along with a link for a discount. So, tentatively taking off this mould. Not just tentative because I'm nervous, but also just it's hard with one hand, one useful hand anyway. And let's have a look. And there we go. My very naive art version of a tree of life with these stunning pearlescent mica powders. It is so shimmery and gorgeous. I just love it. I'm going to take it outside in a moment and take a little video to show you what it looks like in the sun. So here we are in natural daylight, and honestly it is so shimmery and sparkly and magical, and all of those beautiful background colours are gorgeous. And I was just going to show you what sort of a day it is here in Tasmania. Beautiful blue skies and little puffy white clouds. And look what I found in the garden. Tess, who is utterly convinced that there is a whole colony of lizards in there somewhere in the bushes because she saw one once. She came running down the stairs and she said, "Oh, hang on." And Milo didn't make it out to the garden. He's just having a lovely little rest inside, and as soon as I got close to him, he's like, "Oh, you can pat my tummy." So, of course, I did. I hope you enjoyed this video. It feels so good to be back crafting, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Don't forget to check out all the amazing videos in the playlist for this collaboration. Thank you, Tracey, for organising it. And don't forget, you'll have a chance in an upcoming video to get your own beautiful mica powder set from Solid Solutions. Bye for now.